Is that you, Erica?
There.
Hello, hello. I have everybody muted, so if you want to unmute yourself real quick.
I just unmuted.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Welcome to the Body Harmony International Guild Conversations.
Hey, I talked to Teresa. I tried to help her, but we didn't succeed.
Aw.
We'll make it another day. Not
Oh, okay.
get into Zoom.
Maybe she can have her daughter go over.
Yes, but the doctor didn't answer. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, great. Well, today we
So-
get to have Sabine interview Linda.
Yes, nice.
So, Sabine, would you like to
Hi.
introduce yourself?
What did you say?
I missed that entirely.
I was asking Sabine if she wants to.
Oh, wait, I
Okay.
didn't recognize you.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's a blessing. Thank you.
I
Thanks
didn't
for
know you
asking.
had long hair.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
getting there. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Hi, Rocky.
Hi.
Okay, Sabine, you're taking over, huh?
Okay, so now we start. Okay.
Okay, if
All
you,
right.
let me make one. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody except for Sabine and Linda. Okay? Or if you
All
can
right.
mute yourself.
I think we can mute. I can mute myself here.
Mhm.
I think. As soon as I get back down there.
Barbara.
Hello, Erica.
Hello, Sabina.
Hello, Barbara. Nice. Nice to see you. Okay. Today it's our first talk, like Body Harmony Guild talk, and I'm interviewing Linda. And I know that everybody knows Linda. And I would like to welcome all the people from Body Harmony and the friends and the guests and to our conversations. So my name is Sabine. I'm from Germany and I became a Body Harmony teacher in 2018 on the Canary Islands in Tenerife. And today I'm interviewing Linda McFarland. She is the widow of Dr. Don McFarland, the founder of Body Harmony, and she is the current president of the International Body Harmony Guild. So, Linda, it would be lovely if you share a bit of your beginnings with Body Harmony and Don.
Thank you, Sabine. Yes. I met Don 35 years ago in a seminar. And we were in LA and he had on a leather fringe jacket, a vest, fringe all over it, beads all over it. And I just looked, when I first saw him, I said, who in the hell is that? And everybody else is dressed in suits and stuff like that. So he immediately got my attention. And little did I know that he would be my partner for the next 30 years. So it was an adventure from the beginning. The first trip I ever took with Don, we went to Greece. And there was a bunch of people out on the hillside with a glass of wine, and they're celebrating the sun and thanking the sun for giving us a beautiful day and all of that. And I'm thinking, God, what kind of people? I had never been around people like that really, it took me a long time to figure out that they weren't kids playing, you know, because I was quite a businesswoman at the time. And so I come from a very business background. And so these people celebrating nature, life, you know, was
Really
such a
nice.
beautiful thing to me. And then another thing happened on that hillside was there were two people from Seattle that was also in Greece at the same time, and they were in Mount Shasta with Don, and they had seen a UFO many, many years prior to this. And that man, there was a man and a woman, and the man said, asked Don, he said, "Are you doubting yourself? You're doubting your experience." And I thought, wow, those are interesting words. And just the curiosity of being around people that talked a different language than I did. You know, everything wasn't in black and white and something you read about. It was a whole other world about doubting your experience. And how often do all of us do that, you know?
And I think a lot of us did question ourselves a lot, especially with body harmony and yeah, in life.
See, and
Yes,
that's what led me on my path into body harmony, wanting to know more, because I was questioning myself, and I thought I had it pretty well together, but oh my, what another world out there, you know,
it remembers me of the last international in Sweden, you know, when we started with the basics, and that was really, really nice and really potent, because it can be so simple when we leave our head, our mind outside the.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you started up. That was your beginning with body harmony.
Well, that was, and so many of the body harmony trainings were all in nature. We used to work in the park. I remember in Connecticut, we'd lean up, or well, I started leaning up against the trunk of a tree and feeling how much support can I really feel from this tree, and how much love can I give the tree back? So it's an exchange of energy. Well, it took me a long time to really, really feel that support, you know? First of all, I didn't think I needed support. I was pretty strong and headstrong, you know, but support in a whole different way. Just kind of blew me away that was even, that people talk this kind of language, you know. So we were in nature a lot, and then Don was a absolutely professional student. And I think he studied probably up to 75 different techniques of body work, and dance movement, voice movement, acting, anything to do with the human experience. Psychology, he was into that a lot. But I think his fascination was the human experience with no limitations. And somehow over the years, I think we got into where we didn't have room to be in nature, and our room became more classroom. You know, then we focused more on the body instead of the experience and the unlimited potential of the body, you know? So when we were in Sweden last summer was absolutely beautiful, because for me, it was a dream for a long time to get body harmony back into nature and back into feeling that grounding of the earth and connecting, you know, with all of the native people's traditions, and you just bring in that bigger picture into that human experience. you know. And I know we have many shaman among our teachers. Lou, I think you're
Mhm.
a shaman, right? And Barbara is, I know. I don't know how many others, but Karen certainly is.
Mm.
So we have it. So now, you know, we're incorporating all of that more. So, but I want to mention Don's journey as far as the last year and a half of his life. We were teaching a class in Italy, and our last two clients there were people that had strokes, a man and a woman. And in Body Harmony, we don't label stuff. You know, if there's an issue, we don't put stroke on it or cancer, stuff like that. We just look at the body as something that's not working in harmony. So what can we do about that? But we worked with these people, and they were probably the most rewarding sessions I've ever encountered, as far as a perfect healing in the moment. And the healing wasn't necessarily their body, but the healing was their spirit and their soul and their family member that was with them. The lady had a daughter, and the daughter saw her mother as very demanding. You take care of me, you know, I need this, I need that. You know how caregivers are. And then the person on the other side, I know the mother was very grateful for her daughter, but she never told her. She never got around to tell her mother how much she appreciated. I mean, the mother didn't tell the daughter. So I've never seen anything more beautiful. They were both just crying in each other's arms, and it was so healing, you know, to be part of that, witness that. And the other one was a husband and wife, and it was the husband that had the stroke. And what made this different is
Linda, Rocky tries to say something.
Somebody Marina Lopez is asking if we have this in Spanish or French. Although I think she left.
okay. And also, I got a letter from the French people from Anique today asking the same thing, if it was going to be in French. So these are things we'll have to deal with in the future.
Hmm.
So we don't have anybody right now.
Barbara
It's not
can
really
speak
possible.
Spanish.
Okay. I think she left, so.
Oh,
But
okay.
there is still an M there, you know, on a.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, with this situation in Sweden, when we left there, we went to Germany, to Berlin, and that's interesting that Sabine's from Germany. And that was really our last trip out of the country together. So, but he talked about this all the time. He wouldn't shut up on the airplane. He'd just say, yeah, about these two people. And he had never done that before, ever. But he didn't know enough about, and he labeled it a stroke. And I thought, wow, that's so different from him, because he had never behaved like that before. And then right after we got home, he had, 3 days later, he had something that was very similar to a stroke. Now, he wouldn't go to a doctor, and I wanted to call 911 when he fell, and he wouldn't let me. And the only words he could mutter was, "I thought you knew me." And God, that just, you can imagine what that felt like. But he sat there, or laid there on the ground, and I lifted his head to put in my lap, and his hands were out, like that. But I could tell his brain and his hand, he was a student of his teaching for the first time ever. He had never been sick before. He didn't have any reason to cure anything necessarily, so, but he became his student, a student of his own teaching. And to me, this was really embodying what we teach, coming from that point of view. And then, I don't know, it was 6 hours. I had one of those big round exercise balls that we had just bought the day before. It's interesting how we prepare ourselves for these things. And it took 6 hours for Don to sit up, and but he did, and he was able to. I'd push that ball behind his back, and then he'd move his butt like this, shuffle, and he finally got to the bed. And all I could think of is if I would have called 911 and he'd have been in the hospital that had tubes and put him out and all of that kind of stuff, that he could have never had the opportunity to work on himself the way he did. And to me, that was the biggest gift he ever gave me, was that what does it mean to embody our work, What if we actually practice what we preach, So we have such a great opportunity, and we have the wisdom, but do we use it, So anyway, that next year and a half was going from not walking to not having the use of either arm, and pretty soon he got full use of his left arm back and about 3/4 of his right arm back. And during this time, he never saw a doctor. He did do acupuncture. I took him to that. And he never took drugs or medication of any kind.
Wow.
So how he did that, God's gift to me, to know what the human potential is, God, I'm going to cry. Anyway, so we worked on and off, and he got well enough to go out and enjoy dinner and stuff like that, and people, and then, it's kind of like a cycle. He would come, he would go. So in 3 months before he passed away, we went to Sedona, which was one of the first places we went in the United States that was very spiritual healing place, for those of you who may not know. And the red rocks and all the magic of the mountains and stuff like that. So we went to visit a friend and had a lot of healing there with Carolyn Ford and Frank Bronson. And on the way home, that was the best thing, because that really connected Don to his greater, higher self, his spirit. And we got home, and for a couple of weeks, and then he told me one day he was just ready to go. It was like he was going to go. And I said, well, I said, if I'll support you in any way I can, and except I won't kill you, I won't poison you, I don't want to be, stuff like that. So so I got out the drum, and I just started pounding the drum, and I got my neighbor to come over and help me, and we're just drumming Don over to the other side. And out of the blue, it startled me. He said, stop, I'm not ready to go yet. He said, I still have something to teach. And we were just having our international event in Carmel. And that was going to be in 3 weeks. And he said, I still have something of value to teach. And he couldn't talk very well. So he just, everything was right to the point. You know, it wasn't stories like he was so good at telling. And the words that he had to teach was integrity, embodiment, congruency. And there were, do you remember the rest, Rocky? Transparency was one. The one I keep forgetting is probably the one I need to learn the most because I blank it out. So anyway, Rocky really worked hard, and I worked on his physical body to get him strong enough to, we live on the 3rd floor of, well, the 2nd floor, but 3 floors down, or 2 floors down to the parking lot. So Don had to get strong enough and well enough to walk down those flights of stairs, you know, by himself. And he managed to do that. And he got to Carmel for, we had a 10-day seminar. And the next day, Rocky and I are very busy loading the car. And Don passed away on our driving back down here. And it's like a man with a mission.
Yes.
He did it, and my work is over. Yeah, so it's such the biggest gift I've ever been given, that what the human potential can be, you know, it's, and then for me, there was a lot of tug of war, a lot of hostility and separation of body harmony. But what kept coming to me when I was taking care of Don several times in Carmel, there were 2 pictures, and one of them was really horrible, but the other one was a woman sitting on the beach shifting sand. And you know how people go and they pick out, they go after the weekend if you live near the beach, and they look for treasures, you know, and then you shift out all the stuff you don't want, but you keep the nuggets.
Yes.
And I think the ones that Sabine and Barbara and Malou, you know, you are the nuggets. You are that golden new foundation to body harmony. And Salvador, I have to mention him because he was such a big tool, and he lives in Tenerife, if you don't know. And he was the one that taught body harmony probably the most, besides Don and I. And he had a big groups of people there in Tenerife, and we owe a lot to him also. So gratitude to them. But here we are, we're starting new, and we're finding our way. And I think our experience in Sweden was perfect for us, you know, to makes me feel good, the direction we're taking.
It is very nice that you shared with us the story from Don, and when before he left his physical body, and the strength and how he was able to get back to his body. Because I saw the pictures from Sedona on Facebook, and I saw him leaving, you know, and then.
Yes, I remember you telling me.
And then you telling us, you know, he was able to go back in, it was his decision, and how strong a human being can be, you know.
Well,
so
his
the
last
desire.
last words to me, we had Don sitting in his wheelchair in the sun, which he loved the sun, and Rocky and I was so busy cleaning the house and packing the car and blah, 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 getting all of that stuff ready. And I would go past Don. He was right on the trail between where the house was and the car. And I would stop and ask him if he wanted water or anything like that, you know. And one time, the last time, he grabbed my shirt and pulled it as I walked by him. And I of course thought he wanted something. So he said, you know, we are going to die today. And it took my breath away. I mean, I was speechless for once. That we, you know, and finally I said, Don, I can't go with you this time, you know, because we'd pretty much spend our 30 years together. And he sat there for a long time. And then I don't know, I said, he loved Rocky so much. I finally said, besides, that wouldn't be fair to Rocky with 2 dead bodies to take care of. And then he kind of got a little smile. He said, you're right. And that was his last words to me was, you know, you're right. I'd waited 30 years to hear him say that, but but that was his very last words. He didn't speak another word after that. But even up to knowing that he was going to die and said, you know, that we're going to die today. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I don't know, pretty powerful man, more than most people know. And we all knew that Don was a great teacher and full of wisdom beyond belief. But I don't think a lot of people knew the spiritual side of him so much. You know, I don't think.
It's very nice that it opened what you were saying. It opens it up for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know?
I'm going to pop in here real quick just to say that we have 2 minutes until it's 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, Sabine and I had talked about doing like a little demonstration and stuff like that. So, and taking it into present time, what, you know, this shutdown thing we're in, and how you use body harmony on yourself. And so one of the things that I just said, my biggest thing is I'm on the computer more and my little phone, and I have eye strain more than I have had. So I just want to lead us in a little demonstration about how to work on your eyes.
It's
So,
nice.
so let's just take a few minutes and just take 2 or 3 breaths. And when you exhale, focus on your neck and your shoulder. If you can just exhale into this part of your torso. A lot of eye strain comes from being tense up over the computer, you know. So if we can just take a couple deep breaths and just exhale there. And then this is called, what we're going to do is called palming. So just put your hands together and maybe just get a little friction. If they're cold, warm them up a little, you know. And then you just put them, so it's called palming. So you put the palm of your hand over your eye socket. So your fingers are going to be up in your hair someplace. and you just put, and this ball part of your hand is going to be down on your cheekbones, and then just breathe and just kind of pulsate into your cheekbones, and just so your eyes become very rested. So you can just feel that long enough, use both hands at the same time, and just give your eyes a break. And the nice thing is you can do this any time of the day. Anytime you get a little stressed, just use this to rest your eyes a little bit. So, okay. All right, Rocky, how are we on the time now? Can you hear me, Rocky?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had me muted.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're at 11:31 our time.
Geez, all of that was, oh, okay.
At 9 minutes.
Okay.
What happens, because we have the free version of this. And actually, no, I just actually bought it so we can go longer. Never mind.
Oh,
Paid for it.
oh, okay.
Because we're videotaping this, and I wanted the videos to be nicer and that I could share, because so far the ones that I've been getting aren't really shareable. They're the funky little things. So.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do some questions if anybody has a question? So to answer, Linda, would you like that?
Yes, yes, that would be very good. Well, the first thing, just that few little minutes, what was your experience of the palming? Did you find that useful in any way?
If you all want to unmute yourself, you can answer.
Yeah.
Engage in conversation.
Yeah. Linda, it's Barbara. Just that little bit of time, I really felt it in my eyes. They feel a lot more relaxed now. And especially just with a little bit of the pulsing. And just relaxing and breathing into my neck. I haven't, after all this time, I never really tried breathing into my neck. And that was an interesting experience. So thank you. It was good.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Aita was asking if we can see her, but we can't. Don't know why.
Who?
Aita
Oh,
from Sweden.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, and it says that her video's open.
Well, Colleen, I know you're brand new to this. Oh, you're muted, so unmute yourself. Good. So you're brand new to Body Harmony. So what was that tiny little experience like for you?
Well, it was wonderful. And I'm not totally brand new, because if you remember at a family reunion, Don worked on me a couple of times with these family reunions. So, and I've really been a fan of this whole thing for such a long time. And it's wonderful because I have had some eye problems, and it's wonderful to feel that energy, and this just totally, it's wonderful.
And I do remember Don working on you.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of this. So yeah, I'm a follower.
Linda, can you hear me?
Judy. No, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
You must be the iPhone.
What?
You must be the iPhone.
iPhone.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
That I was.
There you go, Ida.
I got in on this, but I just now figured out how to unmute.
Oh, good.
So whoops. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Now I see Rocky.
Okay. All right. So does anybody else have a little comment they would like to? Oh, I see you now.
Who do you see?
Huh?
Ida.
Well, if I get up here, I can see, I can read the names, you know? So I need this. I need more of this, yeah.
Linda, and can I say something?
Yes.
I had been doing this on my eyes, but what you said was really useful because I realized that if I relaxed my hands and I relaxed my touch and then I relaxed my neck, that it was a whole different experience. Mm-hmm. So my whole experience was very different right now.
Oh, good, good.
What for me it was that what you was telling or sharing with us, it is to step in our own strength, to not to wait for a healer outside, to work with ourselves. Mm-hmm. That is wonderful, Linda.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have it, you know, we call ourselves healer, and we also say healing comes from within. Why don't we practice that on ourselves?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. You know, it's, we do it for other. That's great, Rocky.
Yeah, a little interloper there.
Which one was this, Buddy?
Samantha.
Oh.
Still there.
Hey.
Well, that's a little healing cat. That Rocky's cats played a very important part of Don's passing. They knew long before we did that we're in the car and I'm sitting in the back seat with the cats, and all of a sudden they're going meow, 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 meow. And they're carrying on a dialogue all of their own. And Rocky and I are laughing. And she said, I've never seen the cats act like this before. And then a little while later, Rocky reached over to touch Don. And she said, Mom, I think he's gone. But the cats knew. Then I was in the car with Rocky's stepson going back to the house after we did all of the stuff that was necessary to get Don to the coroner's office. And we got to the same place on the road, and those cats started doing the same thing. Going back and forth, and I think those cats was telling me this is where we were, you know, when he left. I think it was just, they knew, you know. I never liked cats until that day.
And the next day when we started heading back down to LA, in that same spot again, they started both just meowing.
Yeah, yeah.
For a long time, like a good 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They don't usually do.
Wow.
So important. Okay, does anybody else have any comments they'd like to make, or something you want to know about, or
Just saying thank you for your sharing. Thank you for sharing, Linda.
Well, thank you for showing up. And we'll get this advertised properly, and we'll do it. Ida, do you want to say anything?
Can you hear me now?
Not
Very
soft.
Can you hear me?
a little, but not much.
I don't know what is not working here today with the...
And that's it.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this idea of giving a lot of healing to yourself. And that's also what I'm doing in my Qigong practice. And this with the eyes, I do something similar every Qigong class. But what was new for me was that to lean here on the chin, because I've been doing more like this, covering the whole face as much as possible. That's also nice. But this was new, and it was a new sensation coming through.
Mhm.
And also this with the connection to the neck, to breathe into the neck was very nice. So thank you very much for that one. I will incorporate that one in on Monday in my Qigong class.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was also thinking of how to advertise this Zoom class on Fridays, because now I was just seeing it 1 hour before on Facebook occasionally, but and we have like 12 people participating. I'm thinking of we could have maybe 40, 50 people participating, but we need to advertise it maybe a week.
You know, this is,
beforehand.
Rocky put out a nice, the advertising that you saw. We didn't know how to convert that from an email to a Facebook, to a web page until last night. So my grandson really helped me out step by step to get it done. So now we know how to do that. So it will be out. We'll put it up every day from now on, you know. And then if you have a web page or Facebook page, please put it there. I'm going to post it on all the Body Harmony pages in all the different countries and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And so if we just get the material, we could all post it on our Facebook pages. Like I have 3,900 friends there who can see it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
So we
the
decided
first
to
time.
use this one as a
And-
practice, yeah.
Yes, and yeah.
And and now we've got that. And then the other two issues that are same issue, two different countries, is come up is with translators. So that Erica, maybe would you be willing to help us?
Wait, it depends how many people were interested in the French-speaking translation.
Okay, well, you heard me say Anique asked that question, you know, about translation.
We can try it, but it might not be easy because somebody's speaking somebody else. It might be, we can try it. I'm willing
good.
to.
I like that attitude. That's,
I'm
I don't know
willing to
how
help
people.
on that next time, and then we see how it goes.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just need to figure out if it really works. Like someone is talking and then someone translates into French, someone into Spanish. You know, it's like, I don't know if that really works.
Because also something can get lost in the translation. You know, in your words, you put emotions, feelings, and then how to convey that. It might get lost in the time and the translation. So.
Right.
Or maybe we just do it in written form, you know, that.
Oh, that's a good idea, but yeah, we could try.
You
Well,
know,
Barbara and I was on a meeting.
Write at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not easy to listen and write the translation at the same time.
No.
Yeah,
Possibly the best way would be to not on the live streaming. It wouldn't be translated, but we are doing we will post the recording. So possibly if translators would be willing to translate the 30-minute Zoom into French, or we could post the links to each translation after the fact. But I think it's too confusing. We can't be translating it into 3 or 4 different languages while it's going on. It would have to come after, and they would just watch the link that we could send to the email to those who were interested.
The only thing right now, I don't have the time to spend a lot of time on translating everything into French.
Yeah.
So we need to take that into consideration. We can try something. And
or maybe there would be other French translators also willing to do it, or a summarized version without giving the whole half hour.
Well, you know, we were on, Barbara and I was on a meeting, and And the lady that was the subject of this session was from Mexico City, and she needed a translator. And for me, that wasn't that confusing. Was it to you, Barb?
No, but it was a different format. It was there were fewer words spoken, so it was a lot different. It wasn't one person, one speaker just talking. So I think for the demonstration part, it could be for the end 5 minutes or so for a demonstration, that would be valuable. But if there's going to be like 20 minutes of talking, that would be too hard to translate.
Right.
But I think for the demonstration that would work because there's not so many words.
True.
Or maybe even just that part, translate the demonstration.
Yeah. Well, we can get it all figured out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, these are things that, and as our viewers or participants become more, you know, then we can address those issues.
Right.
So, yeah. And maybe, who knows, maybe we can get Alexandra back, you know, to translate for the French. That would be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I think we're good.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Malou.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, so good. Judy, are you still there?
She's on mute. She's
Oh.
on mute.
Oh. Judy? Sabine, tell Judy to unmute herself.
Unmute us.
Oh, there she
I'm
is.
unmuted.
All right.
All right. All right. Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you got a hold of your grandson last night to help you with the Facebook.
Oh, I have directions in this book. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Oh, bless his
all up to-
heart.
All
The
right.
last step was,
see.
if I can find the page. I think
Telsha's
there's about
coming
14
tomorrow.
steps.
Telsha's
Do you
coming
stop the
over tomorrow
video?
to help
Do
me.
you stop recording or?
Let's stop recording. Yeah, because this isn't
Yeah.
part of what I want